Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nadia, and in this video I wanna tell about chapter 6. And in this chapter we discuss about adverb. As a word class, adverbs are rather problematic, much more so than any other word class, since there is very little that holds them together. Formally, there are a number of endings, such as wise, for example, lengthwise, wise, for example, sidewise, and the commonly, for example, easily, but not all such words are adverb. For example, kindly. Many adverbs have no identifying ending, for example, soon. They are found in the company of many word classes. They may modify almost anything like adjective, other adverbs, verbs, nouns, and clause. Another factor that affects adverb is their position. They are normally quite movable, but the default for most is the so-called middle position between the subject and verb. After the first auxiliary, if there is one, adverbs are usually found in middle position. A number of different types of adverb can be distinguished. First, central adverb. These are the words referring to manner, time, and place that are traditionally thought of as adverb and which modify the meaning of the verb or the whole sentence. For example, like she quietly closed the door. She quietly closed the door. This type of adverb has several possible positions in clause according to need. For example, she closed the door quietly. She closed the door quietly. And quietly, she closed the door. Quietly, she closed the door. They answer questions such as how, when, where, and how often. I sometimes think of early retirement. I sometimes think of early retirement. And the next is degree adverb. These are words that modify adjectives and adverbs to alter the degree or extent or level involved. The most common are sometimes called intensifiers, since they increase the force of quality described by the adjective and adverb. For example, he was very happy. He was very happy. But they can also diminish the degree. For example, they were slightly late. They were slightly late. Or question the degree involved. How late were they? How late were they? Next, modal adverbs. These are adverbs that refer to the factual nature of statements involving such issues as certainty, probability, and possibility. For example, perhaps they are not coming. Perhaps they are not coming. Then they are definitely not coming. They are definitely not coming. And the next is common adverbs. These are adverbs that allow the speaker or writer to make a comment about some action or event. For example, unfortunately, we have run out of beer. I will tell it twice. Unfortunately, commas, we have run out of beer. Unfortunately, commas, we have run out of beer. And they are often placed at the start of clause in writing are often separate from the rest of the clause by commas as above. And the next is linking adverbs. sometimes called as a conjunction. These are adverbs that are used to link two ideas in separate sentences. For example, the defeat was a great shock. Stop. Nevertheless, we will continue our struggle. The defeat was a great shock. Nevertheless, we will continue our struggle. They cover many of the same meanings as subordinating conjunction, like common adverbs. They are often placed at the start of clause, and in writing, the use of commas to separate them from the rest of the clause is more common. And the next is aspect adverb. This small group of adverbs closely modifies the meaning of verbs, indicating factors such as continuation and completion. Similar to the way that the progressive and perfect aspect in English refine the temporal meaning of tense. It is comprised of still, yet, in, already, all or dealt with below. And the last is focusing adverbs. This group contains some very common adverbs whose role is to focus on or draw attention to particular word or phrase for various reasons. They include also and to, which focus on additional elements, even, which focus on surprising additional elements, and only, which focus on elements by excluding other possibilities. For example, like, I only give him some advice. I only give him some advice. The point about these different types is that the same adverb may belong to more than one, and in this way we can understand their different use. For example, stupidly, I forgot to look the cat. Stupidly, I forgot to look the cat. This is a common adverb, and he expressed his ideas stupidly. He expressed his ideas stupidly. This is a central adverb, so we can see the difference between a common adverb and a central adverb. Now we go to 6.1. Still. Still is an aspect adverb. It is used to emphasize that something continues from the past into the present. For example, I still believe in them. I still believe in them. In this sentence, still in the middle position, but it can be moved for emphasis. I believe in them still. I believe in them still. And the next, as a linking adverb, the sentence, for example, is still we haven't wasted all our time. Still we haven't wasted all our time. This means in spite of everything. Next, as a degree adverb with a comparative adjective or adverbs, example sentence is he drove still faster. He drove still faster. This is a formal use. And the next, as an adjective meaning, static, not moving. For example, they stood perfectly still. They stood perfectly still. Okay, we go to activity 6.1. In this activity, we decide still on this line. whether still as a aspect adverb, a linking adverb, a degree adverb, or an adjective. So we go to the an aspect adverb. In this activity, the sentence as aspect adverb is the lines number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. And in this sentence, all sentence, the still is in the middle position. I will read one samples that still in the middle position. The number 1, the 30 years old is still at home. The 30-year-old is still at home. And I will read once more. First, number 3. I will read the number 3. One man is still being questioned in connection with the murder. One man is still being questioned in connection with the murder. Okay, and as linking adverb, there is the line number 7. I will read the sentence. Still, he does realize that service companies will feel the pinch too. Still, he does realize that service companies will feel the pinch too. And as a degree adverb is the lines number 9. I will read the sentence. He held the rock and stared at it. The boat came nearer and nearer still. He held the rock and stared at it. The boat came nearer and nearer still. And as adjective, there is the line number 12. I will read it. Still waters run deep. Still waters run deep. As a linking adverb in the line 7, still in the first position of clause. And as degree adverb in the line 9, still in the last clause. The position of still in the last clause. And for number 12 as an adjective, the position of still is the first word of that clause. Okay, next we go to 6.2. Yet is a very versatile word with a number of different uses. It is used in 3 main ways. First, as an aspect adverb, referring to or asking about something incomplete. For example, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? Usually, there is a negative or question. Unlike other aspect adverb, it tends to be placed at the end of clause rather than in the middle position. Thought this possible. I haven't yet done it. I haven't yet done it. As with already, there is a difference in verb choice between British and American usage. The latter prefers the past tense to the present perfect. For example, I didn't do it yet. I didn't do it yet. Second, as a linking adverb to show a contrasting idea. For example, the apartment was small, yet it had a certain charm. The apartment was small, yet it had a certain charm. The apartment was small, and yet it had a certain charm. The apartment was small, and yet it had a certain charm. And in this sentence as a the conjunction. Third, as a conjunction similar in meaning to the linking adverb above, but not preceded by a full stop or semicolon. The apartment was small, yet it had a certain charm. The apartment was small, yet it had a certain charm. In addition, there are a number of less common use. After the verb be and have followed by an infinitive, meaning something has not happened. For example, we have yet to understand the reason for the riot. We have yet to understand the reason for the riot. This is a formal use. And with comparative and similar word, to emphasize a greater degree of a quality or a larger amount of something. For example, they were old, but she was older yet. They were old, but she was older yet. And there are yet more people waiting for an operation. There are yet more people waiting for an operation. This is a formal use. And the next, to make a contrast between two adjectives. For example, the apartment was small yet comfortable. The apartment was small yet comfortable. So, next we go to activity 6.2. And in this activity, we decide whether yet on this line as a aspect adverb, a linking adverb, a conjunction, part of be or have yet to, or emphasizing a greater degree or larger amount, and contrasting to adjective. So here we go. An aspect adverb, there is the line number 3, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12. And as linking verb, there is number 1, 2, 13, 17, 18. And as conjunction, there is number 13, 15, 19, and 20. And part of be or have yet to is number 15. And for emphasizing a greater degree or a larger amount is number 6 and number 10. And for contrasting to adjective is number 16. So I will read one sample for one like an aspect adverb. I will read one example. It's number 3. There is quite a lot of money going into studies, but no commitment yet as to actually will it. There is quite a lot of money going into studies, but no commitment yet as to actually will it. And for a linking verb, I will read for the number 1. Incidentally, I always do this, and yet I must reassure you that I'm not a saga representative. Incidentally, I always do this, and yet I must reassure you that I'm not a saga representative. And the for conjunction is number 13. Television has quickly become the most powerful medium, yet almost all its program content is import. Television has quickly become the most powerful medium, yet almost all its program content is import. And for emphasizing a greater degree or larger amount is number 6 and number 10. I will read the number 6. I believe that this application for a residence order is yet another step in this game. I believe that this application for a resident order is yet another step in this game. And for contrasting to adjective, and there is in number 16, I will read it. And it has become a model of how to build low-cost housing on a large yet human scale. It has become a model of how to build low-cost housing on a large yet human scale. And next, 6.3 already. In this basic meaning, already is used to refer to an event, state, or action in the past or present that is perhaps unexpected. For example, we already know that. We already know that. Because of its meaning, it tends to be used with the present perfect in British English, while American English tends to use the past tense. We have already done that. We already did that. It is usually placed in the middle position before the main verb and after the auxiliary if there is one, but it can come at the end of sentence. We know that already. We know that already. Okay, activity 6.3. The tenses on all the lines is present perfect. Apart from example of the present tense is the line number 6, 7, and 12, and past tense in the line 10. On line 9, no tense is mentioned, but the present can be assumed. The position is middle on every line apart from line 9, where there is no subject or verb. Okay, that's all from me, and I'm sorry for all mistakes that happened in this video. And thanks for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.